Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you guys a very special one. This has been a highly requested loot video ever since this series started. Today I bring you loot from 1000 Vorkath. And if I do sound a little bit different, it is because I am recovering from the flu. It has been a miserable week for me, but I am very happy to say that I'm almost back to normal. Seem to be getting sick a lot up in New Jersey. You know, maybe it's the weather, I'm not too sure, but with all that being said, let's get into the video. So as most of you guys know, from the start to the end of this series throughout the past year, there's one item that I have been lacking, and that is the assembler. And I am happy to say that thanks to this video, that will no longer be a problem. This accumulator max cape will finally be discarded, and we do have Vorkath to thank for that. Now, just like always, we did track the kills for this video with the Ring of Wealth in the boss log section, and while Vorkath can be considered a blue dragon Slayer task, none of this was done via Slayer task. All of this was done with just a simple void range setup with the salve amulet. I also decided to use the 2-bolt method, where you use ruby bolts for about 60% of the kill, and for the remainder of the kill we just go ahead and switch to the diamond bolts. This way I was able to hit consistent 100s, which is the max hit that you can deal as it goes for damage here. And if you are curious as to why I decided to use range instead of melee, my reason really isn't the best. As most of you know, there is a popular method of killing Vorkath with the Dragon Hunter Lance, and I'm pretty sure you actually make more money that way because you spend less on supplies over time. However, I've always used range here, and a long-term goal of mine is 200 mil range XP, so I figured it would just be more comfortable for me and more beneficial for me later on this account to just use range. So that's kind of why I went with this method. But it is important to note that a lot of people did tell me that they do prefer to use melee here, so if you're new at Vorkath, maybe try out both ways. You may see a difference in one versus the other. I myself actually never did try melee here, so you'll have to let me know of your preference in the comments below. Maybe there is a true efficient standard nowadays, but I myself just kind of do whatever I kind of feel is better for me. And starting at 535 KC overall and ending at 1535 KC overall, only took about 50 kills to get the Vorkath head, and at long last we were able to convert it into the assembler, use the assembler on the max cape, and here we go, baby. The best in-slot range cape in the game has once again been acquired by me. I did have like 10 of these a long time ago, but I did lose them all back in those good old Rev PVMing days that I did about a year ago. So yeah, it was nice to finally switch on over to that cape, and we did stack up quite a lot of heads throughout this video so that we will have a lot for the future. And if you're curious of the drop rate of that Vorkath head, you should expect to get one on your very first 50 kills here, and then I think the drop rate stays around 1 in 50 throughout the duration of you killing this monster. I did die quite a lot. I didn't record every single death, but I figured I'd throw in quite a few because if you die at Vorkath, I don't want you to feel bad because I am a expert PVMer, as most of you know, minus the Inferno cape. And yeah, I died quite a bit here, so don't be ashamed. It's a very aggressive monster. I talked to a lot of people, and although this is one of the best GP per hour methods in the game as it pertains to PVMing, you do die quite a bit here because the styles and the mechanics of Vorkath, whether it's the acid phase or the phase where it throws a scorpion at you and you have to, use Crumble Undead on that scorpion just to make sure you don't get hit for a 50, or if we're just talking about the fireball that seems to spawn whenever you look away for a brief second. There's just so many different ways that you can die here, so don't feel too bad if you die a lot in the beginning. The only thing that happens when you die is pretty much you have to pay 100k to the NPC whose name is Torfin, I believe, and he's pretty much at the docks where you sail to Vorkath. Now, that scorpion thing that I mentioned earlier is actually called the zombified spawn, and this spawn that does pop out occasionally when you're killing Vorkath, every single kill, can be killed with Crumble Undead, and a lot of people that saw me live streaming Vorkath throughout the past few weeks were very surprised to hear that if you use a Slayer staff, you can actually auto-cast Crumble Undead onto this spawn, and therefore you don't have to constantly click on your spell book and make sure that you click on the spell manually. You can simply just switch to the Slayer staff, or even a Staff of Balance, which you will see later on in the video, and you can simply just one-click the spawn, and your chances of accuracy, your chances of not messing up are actually much higher. So that is something to keep in mind for anyone who didn't know that. Not too sure how long that's been a thing, but I know for a fact that when Vorkath first came out, nobody did this, and then a lot of months went by, and all of a sudden it seems like everyone started doing this. So yeah, make sure to bring that Slayer staff or Staff of Balance, whatever staff you want to bring. It is recommended as well to bring a rune pouch for those Crumble Undead spell runes. It will save you some inventory space, so just a piece of advice that I did learn myself. This kill here was actually my personal best, was 1 minute and 14 seconds, and then after that kill, I did actually get a pretty rare drop from Vorkath, one of my first rares of the video, that being the Celestra seed. Now, according to the wiki, this seed is 1 in 3,125, and there are also other seeds that you will see throughout the video that are similar drop rates, but of course, the main rares that we wanted to see during the making of this video, well, is actually quite a lot. So the first one being the Jar of Decay, which is 1 in 3,000, kind of an achievement goal, not really worth much, but still pretty cool to put in your player-owned house. The next one, of course, being the Pet, which is the Pet Vorkath, 1 in 3,000. The next rare being the Draconic Visage, which is 1 in 5,000. Now, this Visage is just under 5 mil, so yeah, DFS seems to be very cheap these days. And of course, the last main rare that you would always want to see from this boss would be the Skeletal Visage. And that, just like the Draconic Visage, is 1 in 5,000. Only the difference in price is just over 26 mil. So yeah, those were the main goals throughout this video. And speaking of goals, congratulations to Sean Bay for achieving 200 mil all in every single skill. You think I'm dedicated? My god, shout out to this guy. Obviously, any of those rares would be great to see, and the number one thing I did want, of course, would be the Pet. But yeah, there also is this one other rare, which isn't as rare as all the other things that I did mention, but it is a Dragon Bone Necklace. That is 1 in 1,000. I believe it is less than 100k. So yeah, not too impressive to see, but it is a good necklace if you want to train prayer. And here at this point in the video, while we were stacking up all of the amazing non-rare drops, because pretty much everything dropped by this monster is incredibly valuable, except the Wrath Talismans and a few other things. But of course, our very first rare outside of the uncommon seed drops would be the Dragon Bone Necklace, as I just mentioned, 77k, 1 in 1k, and yeah, it's not a pet, it's not a visage, but it's one step closer. So yeah, I mean, I'll take it. It's something. It's better than nothing. And the best thing about Vorkath is that it's not really like Zulrah. You know, Zulrah's drops have been nerfed so many times. I mean, I pretty much lost count. But Vorkath really hasn't had too many nerfs to it. I think they had one update when it first came out where they took out the crushed nests from this, and I'm not too sure why they did that. They're not even worth that much anyway. But just the standard Vorkath kill is on average, according to the wiki, about 145k. And some kills, you know, you can get multiple sets of D legs, dragon plate skirts. I think there was even one kill where I got like 6 rune kite shields. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. You don't have to get a rare here to make profit. I hear people always making upwards of 4 to 6 mil an hour here, depending on how many kills you get per hour. I myself was not doing a popular method while killing Vorkath called Wooks Walking. And basically what that is during the acid phase, you keep inflicting damage to Vorkath rather than avoiding it. And yeah, it's just a lot of effort, but if you do master it, you do get much faster kills per hour, and that will just increase your profit overall. I kept things very simple. You know, I was on another account at the same time while doing this video, and I was also focused on the Twitch chat because I was streaming most of this, like 95% of it. So I really couldn't try hard this too much. I kind of just did this pretty casually, and on average, I was getting about 20 kills per hour, 3 kills every single inventory, and since I was picking up every single blue D-hide, which not everyone does, I was pretty comfortable with just getting 3 kills every single trip. And here we are with our second Dragon Bone Necklace, another 1 in 1,000 drop. Nothing too valuable yet or untradeable, but it is another rare, so we will take it. Now, as it goes for the inventory setup, I myself was just bringing 3 prayer potions along with 1 normal range potion, 1 anti-venom, and 1 super anti-fire. I didn't have to bring the super anti-fire because I was using the Dragon Fire Ward, and if you use this shield, you don't have to use the super anti-fire potion. I'm just weird, and yeah, I just felt like using it regardless. For my choice of food, I did go with 4 karambwans every single inventory, as well as an inventory full of sharks. Sharks and most food right now is actually pretty expensive. Later on in the video, when I ran out of the 3,000 sharks that I did start with, I did go ahead and switch to sea turtle. So yeah, you are going to use a lot of food at Vorkath. You don't have to bring the most expensive food because, as most of you have seen throughout this video, some kills you take literally literally no damage, and other kills will take half of your inventory of food. It's a really strange thing, but I have noticed that some kills are much easier than others. But yeah, regardless, all of the supply costs, all the potions, the bolts, and the food was calculated in the price check, so if you do use range here, you will have an accurate idea if you're 99 range and using similar gear as I was to just how much you're going to spend on supplies. So I hope you guys find that section of the price check helpful or useful. And of course I did receive some pretty weird rare drops, for example the Rune Battle Axe, which is 1 in 1300, as well as the Redwood Tree Seed, which is another 1 in 3100 drop rate, couple magic seeds, and a couple U seeds as well. And of course we can't forget about the clue scrolls. I did save all of the elite clue scroll caskets for the very end, and since the drop rate of the elite clue scroll here is 1 in 65, truly one of the best monsters in the game to receive elite clue scrolls from, we did do pretty much all of them. There was only one clue that I could not complete because it was some Zaya related step and somehow I didn't do the quest, but yeah, we did most of the clues. If you do get assigned this as a Konar Slayer task, you will receive a Brimstone key, on average 1 every 50, so that is something to keep in mind if you're lucky enough to receive this as a Slayer task. And yeah, as mentioned before, you know, you do use a Salve amulet here. It is the best in slot amulet by far, so don't go and bring an Anguish. Definitely bring the Salve as well as the Slayer Staff, two things that will make your life and make your kills much easier here. So while we get to the final KC, as we can kind of tell, you know, getting to the 1535 mark, still no pet scene, no visage, no jar, just those dragon bone necklaces. And if you would assume that we did not get lucky throughout this video, you would be correct. Unfortunately, loot from 1000 Vorkath, although it has been completed, we did not receive a pet this time around, but that's okay. You know, the Chaos Elemental video we received a pet, and of course in that Abbey Demon video we had that amazing ending as well, so you can't get lucky every time. But as I mentioned before, you know, 145k is the average loot for every single kill here, so needless to say, we knew we were going to make a lot of money coming into this video, and it is time to get into the price check to see just how much we made. All of the loot, all of the clue scrolls going to be opened right now, and hopefully we get some luck from that. And hopefully this amazing loot tab does motivate you to do Dragon Slayer 2, which is the main requirement for Vorkath. Probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video. And yeah, a lot of people in this game really enjoy Vorkath. The current KC record holder is at 71,000 kills. A good friend of mine, shout out to Fatastic, has over 60,000 himself. Many builds have been made from this boss. But yeah, looking at these elite clue scrolls, as you can see, nothing on top of nothing on top of nothing. You know, I was asking for something shiny, something lucky, something good from these elites, and they all pretty much sucked. What can you expect from elite clue scrolls after all? But you know, the last item was kind of shiny, you know, the royal gown bottom. About 1.2 mil made from all those clue scrolls if you were to combine them. Not the best, I'm not gonna lie. These elite clues have yet to impress any of us during this whole loot series, so hopefully one of these days that changes. We'll see though in the future. Yeah, looking at the first price check, this is all of the bones, all of the hides, the rune, the dragon plate legs, the dragon plate skirts, 33 plate legs, 32 skirts, 150 rune kite shields. God, that's amazing. The very first price check coming out to be 102.4 mil. You really don't see the triple digits too often in this series. Kind of reminds me of Alchemical Hydra, but yeah, we didn't get too lucky on the rares on this video compared to that one. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bank this and pull out all of the other items, starting with the dragon longsword. This is pretty much all the battle staves. A lot of manta rays dropped as well, so your food will be replenished regardless, even if you're an Iron Man. Managed to get 1 spirit seed, so just ignore the 91 extra ones that I did include with all of the other seeds there. 2 rune square shields, as well as 4 rune bars, and of course the uncommon 100 silver ore drop. We seem to see that in every single monster in this series. But yeah, the second price check does come out to be just about 34.9 mil, so we will go ahead and add that to the first number, 102.4, and I will also throw in another 1.2 mil to account for the elite clue scrolls. So yeah, that number is rising, and only one price check left. This is just some extra uncommon drops, the rune items, some gems, a talisman, and of course the lovely 2 dragon bone necklaces. Maybe one day these will be worth something, but that day is certainly not today. So yeah, 268k from that whopping number there, and of course over 20 Vorkath heads have been achieved as well, 19 in the inventory, 1 on the back of my character's cape. There's one thing that was kind of a flaw flaw during this video, and that was the coins. It was very hard to keep track of these because I was using so much GP trying to buy a lot of different items from people during my streams so that I can do different videos. You guys will see what I mean in the near future, but yeah, I just estimated about 3 mil in coin drops. Overall loot from 1000 Vorkath does come out to be 141.7 mil, with all of the deaths accounted for 100k a piece, as well as all of the supplies shown on screen there. We did spend about 19 mil on supplies, and with the deaths included, it's about 22.5 mil spent, which leaves us with about 118 mil profit from 1000 Vorkath. In total, we also got 3.2 million range XP, which is awesome, and a lot of assemblers, which we will be using for future wilderness PVM related videos. It was a great experience, you know, averaging about 20 kills per hour. This did take about 50 hours to do, meaning that this is over 2.3 mil an hour if my math is correct. If not, feel free to correct me below. But yeah, this is all about efficiency. You know, if you want to make more, just gotta focus more. If you want to get more kills per hour, you just have to click more, you know, so it's all about your preference, whether you want to use melee or whether you want to use range. Either way, you're going to be walking away with a lot of consistent profit. So with all of that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. This was a long voiceover. If I messed up anything, just let me know in the comments below and I will pin it. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.